Welcome to the Lakers Highlights Today channel. Before we get to the news, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Now, let's get to the Lakers news.
Hey there, Lakers fans. Let's get straight to the point with the latest news stirring the behind the scenes of our Los Angeles Lakers. The name Austin Reaves is back in the spotlight. And this time, it's not because of a great performance or clutch play, but due to trade rumors that started gaining momentum after the playoffs. Expectations were high. Everyone expected Reaves to be the team's third offensive pillar alongside LeBron and Davis. But the series against the Minnesota Timberwolves told a different story. Reaves couldn't replicate his regular season performances, struggled to score, and had defensive issues. Because of that, talks about a potential move involving his name began to surface. And guess who showed interest? The Dallas Mavericks. According to Bleacher Report, the Mavs are eyeing Reaves to fill the offensive gap left by Kyrie Irving's absence, who's recovering from a serious knee injury. Reaves could provide the scoring and playmaking Dallas desperately needs right now. It's still unclear what the Mavericks would be willing to offer in return, but let's not forget these two franchises already made one of the most surprising trades in recent league history, just before the last trade deadline. The relationship between the Lakers and Mavs in trade negotiations isn't a problem. Still, the Lakers continue to view Reaves as an essential piece of the current roster. There's no sign the front office is ready to give up on him, unless there's a real concern about not being able to keep him in the future. If there's any indication that Reaves might walk away without a return, the logical step would be to look for a strategic trade instead of losing him for nothing. Last season, Reaves posted solid numbers, averaging 20.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game, shooting 46% from the field and 37.7% from three. Stats that show his value and explain why other teams are watching him closely. Even with an underwhelming performance in the last playoffs, especially against the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he couldn't become the consistent third scorer the team needed and struggled on defense. It's important to remember who Austin Reaves is within the Lakers' context. One bad series doesn't erase what he delivered throughout the season or how much he has evolved since entering the league. He was one of the key players responsible for maintaining offensive balance during the season and proved to be a floor facilitator, someone who understands the game, plays with intelligence, and knows when to push or slow down the pace. Reaves is a player who developed within the Lakers system, earned his spot on merit, and showed great chemistry with the team's stars. He became a reliable option as a secondary ball handler, has good off-ball movement, and, most importantly, doesn't need to dominate possessions to impact the game. In a team led by LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that's a valuable trait. His versatility to play as a point guard or shooting guard gives the coach flexibility to go small, prioritize ball movement, or adjust defensively when needed. He's also proven to be a player who embraces his role and performs well in regular season games, crucial in such a demanding schedule. His averages of 20.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.8 assists show consistency. His shooting efficiency, 46% from the field and 37.7% from three, is the kind of production many teams seek in a perimeter player. That's not easily replaceable in today's market, especially under the salary cap constraints the Lakers currently face. If the Lakers were to trade him now without a guarantee of equal return, they'd be giving up a player who knows the locker room, has chemistry with the stars, and can continue to improve. Reaves isn't just a technical asset, but also a tactical and financial one, a cost-effective contract for the value he delivers, which provides the franchise with flexibility in future moves. Players like that are not common. There's also the matter of continuity. In a scenario where the Lakers seek stability and try to consolidate an identity after seasons of frequent roster changes, keeping young and rising players is a way to build medium-term consistency. Reaves is the kind of athlete who helps form a solid foundation around the stars. He may not be a superstar, but he's exactly the type of player winning teams need to bridge the gap between top names and role players. So even with rumors swirling and other teams' interest growing, letting go of Austin Reaves now, based solely on one subpar playoff series, would require a lot of conviction from the front office. It would be necessary to ensure the return justifies it, not only in talent, but also in fit and continuity. Because losing Reaves wouldn't just mean losing his numbers. It would mean breaking part of the structure the Lakers have been trying to build over the last few seasons. Reaves is one of those players who don't need crazy numbers every night to make a difference. His value is also in the little things: game reading, off-ball movement, the right pass at the right time, the ability to keep the offense flowing even when starters are resting. He's the kind of player who understands his role and executes it consistently. That's rare, especially in someone still developing. Fans can expect Reaves to keep evolving as a secondary creator. He's already shown he can take responsibility when needed, organize the offense, score efficiently, and make good decisions under pressure. This combination of court vision, poise, and technical skill gives him real potential to become even more valuable as he gains experience. Defensively, there's room for growth. He may not have stood out in that area during the playoffs, but he has the tools to improve. With dedication and better positioning, he can become a more reliable defender, especially within well-structured team schemes. And over time, that tends to happen naturally, given his commitment and strong work ethic. Reaves is also someone who, even without superstar status, understands the honor of wearing a Lakers jersey. He carries himself professionally, shows a desire to win, and respects the franchise's history. That matters in a competitive environment like the NBA, where chemistry and team identity make a difference. For all these reasons, there is, indeed, an expectation surrounding him. The Lakers know it's not easy to find players with his profile: productive, smart, versatile, and with room to grow. Fans can expect a more mature Reaves next season, more prepared for big moments, and more confident in his role on the team. He's already shown what he's capable of. Now, with the team aiming for consistency and new ambitions, the trend is that he'll have even more space to grow. Austin Reaves represents a bridge between the present and what the team wants to build in the coming years. And that's why there's hope, because he has the right tools to be part of something bigger in the Lakers' long-term project. Now, continuing with the moves surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers this offseason, a three-team trade proposal involving the Lakers, Nets, and Heat is gaining momentum and could be a game-changer in building the roster for the upcoming season. With a clear intention to assemble a more balanced team around LeBron James and Luka Doncic, the Lakers are seeking direct solutions for the areas that showed weakness. The absence of a dominant center, worsened by Anthony Davis's departure in a previous trade with the Dallas Mavericks, has become a priority. Additionally, the need to reinforce the wing position with someone more defensively reliable is also evident. According to journalist Jovan Buha from The Athletic, a three-way deal could be the path to address these two gaps at once. In this scenario, the Lakers would receive Nick Claxton and Andrew Wiggins, two players who fit exactly the profile the team is looking for. Claxton, coming from the Brooklyn Nets, would immediately add rim protection, offering mobility, defensive IQ, and efficiency in rim coverage, attributes the Lakers failed to find in their backup centers last season. Wiggins, with his experience and defensive consistency, would be an important addition to balance the team on the wings, contributing on both ends of the floor as well as spacing, something essential when playing alongside LeBron and Luka. However, structuring this trade involves important decisions. To facilitate Claxton and Wiggins' arrival, the Lakers would need to send Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent to the Miami Heat, along with a 2025 second-round pick and a 2028 pick swap. The Nets would receive Jared Vanderbilt, Maxi Kleber, and rookie Dalton Knecht, considered a promising young talent by the coaching staff, plus a 2031 first-round pick and a 2030 pick swap. This proposal shakes the core of the roster. Players like Hachimura and Vanderbilt already know the system and have their strengths within the rotation. Letting go of Connect so early means trusting that the acquired pieces are ready to make an immediate impact and raise the team's level. The cost is high, but the reward could be significant if the goal is to compete at the highest level right from the start of the season. This kind of move shows the Lakers are willing to act aggressively. By bringing in players already established in their roles, management signals that the intention is to build a competitive roster to truly contend. Claxton and Wiggins fill clear gaps, offer versatility, and fit into a structure that values players who can contribute without monopolizing the ball. The franchise's next steps indicate a bolder and more focused plan, prioritizing players who can sustain the intensity and execution required in crucial games. In this context, additions like Claxton and Wiggins could represent exactly what was missing to make the roster more complete, physical, and prepared for the challenges of a long and demanding season. For players like Nick Claxton and Andrew Wiggins, joining a franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers represents a significant change in several aspects, not only because of the size of the market or the visibility involved, but also because of the competitive environment and the daily demand for performance on and off the court. In Claxton's case, this transition would mean moving from a rebuilding environment like the Brooklyn Nets to a team with immediate ambitions to compete at the top of the Western Conference. He would move from a role of continuous development and adjustment to a scenario where his responsibilities are direct and clearly defined. With the Lakers, Claxton would be seen as the defensive anchor, the player responsible for providing rim protection and balancing the team's defense. With his athletic profile, lateral mobility, and ability to contest shots, he would play a key role both in rim protection and pick-and-roll coverage, crucial areas for a team aiming to face high-level opponents in the playoffs. Alongside savvy players like LeBron James and Luka Doncic, Claxton would also have the opportunity to evolve offensively. He would not be asked to be the primary scorer, but rather a finisher in pick-and-roll actions, cutting to the basket, taking advantage of spaces created by the stars, and scoring efficiently near the rim. Moreover, in a more structured and win-focused environment, his development as a passer and decision-maker at the top of the key could accelerate, since he would play under a more demanding coaching system and higher execution standards. For Andrew Wiggins, joining the Lakers would also bring a new chapter in his career. Coming from a winning environment like the Golden State Warriors, where he won a championship and played important roles in playoff runs, he brings experience performing under pressure and adapting to different roles within a star-studded roster. Wiggins is known for his defensive consistency on the wings, something the Lakers especially value against teams with explosive scorers at the 2 and 3 positions. With the Lakers, he would find a role more focused on defense and offensive spacing, without needing to be the main creator or volume scorer. With LeBron and Luka controlling the ball, Wiggins would have freedom to concentrate on mid and long-range shooting, timely drives, and most importantly, defending the opposing team's best players. He would fit into versatile lineups capable of switching defensively efficiently, helping provide balance to a team still seeking a more solid defensive identity. Wiggins' presence would also expand the coach's tactical options. His ability to play both as a wing and in small ball lineups like a lighter for would give more flexibility in transition or when the team needs to push the pace. Having experienced high-stakes situations before, he would bring valuable understanding of positioning in crucial moments of the season. Both Claxton and Wiggins would join a roster with clear expectations and defined goals. They wouldn't be expected to lead, but rather to complement, add value, and help sustain the team's standard of play throughout the season. They would be functional pieces in a machine aiming for immediate performance and consistency, especially around the team's 2 main technical references. Ultimately, this change would mark a new phase in their careers. A different challenge with new responsibilities, but also the chance to play for one of the NBA's most traditional and media-heavy franchises. Being part of a project aimed at concrete results, they would have the opportunity to prove their worth in a setting that demands excellence, but also recognizes those who deliver. For the Los Angeles Lakers, adding Nick Claxton and Andrew Wiggins to the roster would represent an important step toward building a more balanced, functional team adapted to the modern NBA style. In a scenario where LeBron James and Luka Doncic are the offensive focal points, any reinforcement must have two fundamental qualities: the ability to play without the ball and contribute solid defense. Claxton and Wiggins clearly meet these criteria. Claxton's arrival would solve a central issue that has long bothered the Lakers: having a reliable center who can consistently protect the rim while moving with speed and defensive intelligence. Claxton is not a static big man who relies solely on size to impact the game. He is agile, can guard smaller players in defensive switches, and understands spacing well. This allows him to be effective in various defensive coverages, from drop coverage to aggressive perimeter switches. Offensively, even with a more limited role, Claxton would know exactly what to do. With LeBron and Doncic orchestrating the offense, he would have plenty of chances to finish near the rim in pick and rolls, cuts to the basket, and offensive rebounds. He wouldn't need to create with the ball in his hands, and that's precisely what the Lakers system needs: someone who performs his role efficiently without taking possessions that should belong to the primary playmakers. Andrew Wiggins would bring stability and versatility to the wing rotation, something the Lakers have tried to solve with different combinations over recent seasons. Wiggins is an elite wing defender with good footwork, the physicality to handle bigger and quicker opponents, and the tactical discipline to keep the defensive system cohesive. Alongside LeBron and Luka, he would have a clear function: defend the opposing team's best scorers, occupy the right spaces on offense, and capitalize on opportunities created by defensive help on the team's stars. Offensively, he would be a highly useful complementary piece. His three-point shooting, even if not extremely high volume, is respected by defenses. He moves well without the ball and knows how to exploit straight cuts. With two passers at LeBron and Luka's level, Wiggins would constantly find good finishing chances, whether on the perimeter or in quick drives. He would also have freedom to attack in transition, a situation that suits him very well. The fit between these two players and the team's stars is not theoretical but practical. With Claxton anchoring the defense and protecting the rim, LeBron would have less physical burden in the paint, helping preserve his body. Luka would have more freedom to run the offense, knowing there's defensive security behind and beside him. Wiggins would do the dirty work on the wings, taking the load off LeBron from having to guard the best opposing player every night. This would help both their longevity, especially in back-to-back games and playoff series. Furthermore, this duo would increase the coach's tactical flexibility. With Claxton, the team could play both traditional lineups with a fixed center and faster lineups, switching all defensive assignments. Wiggins could start or come off the bench, depending on game needs. He can play as a classic 3 or a lighter 4 in smaller lineups. This allows different types of lineups without compromising team balance. Overall, Claxton and Wiggins would add exactly what was missing: youth, energy, versatility, and the ability to contribute without needing to centralize the offense. They would complement what LeBron and Luka already offer, not compete for protagonism. In a league increasingly based on roster depth and balance between offense and defense, these additions would make the Lakers' roster more robust, reliable, and adaptable to any opponent's style. With these pieces, the Lakers would be closer to a team that does not rely solely on star talent, but has collective structure to compete at a high level throughout the season. And that, for a team with clear goals of returning to the finals, is exactly the kind of move that can make a difference when it matters most. For the Lakers, strengthening the roster this offseason goes beyond a simple update. It is a strategic necessity to keep the championship window alive while LeBron James is still at his peak and Luka Doncic enters the prime of his career. The pursuit of another ring is driven not only by the franchise's tradition, but by a competitive urgency that demands precise decisions and a roster with depth, balance, and a clear identity. With the NBA increasingly dominated by teams that combine talent with solid tactical structure, the Lakers can no longer rely solely on the brilliance of their stars to overcome playoff series. The current landscape imposes a high standard of consistency, especially in terms of team defense, versatility, and execution under pressure. Therefore, every piece added needs to fulfill a real role, fit the system, and sustain performance in crucial games, whether in the main rotation or alternative lineups the team uses throughout the season. Moreover, the Western Conference is full of opponents with well-defined rosters, established chemistry, and long-term projects. Teams like Denver, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, and even Sacramento offer resistance through depth, youth, and intensity. If the Lakers want to remain among the top title contenders, they need to keep up with this evolution, both physically and tactically. Another factor is future planning. Every move made now affects not only the next season, but also the franchise's competitive horizon in the coming years. Building a more complete and versatile roster helps preserve the stars, manage minutes throughout the calendar, maintain consistency during occasional injuries, and, most importantly, sustain a level of play regardless of circumstances. This directly reflects on performance in long series, where the ability to adjust quickly makes the difference between advancing or ending the campaign earlier than expected. Strengthening the roster, therefore, is part of a larger commitment by the Lakers to excellence. It is about honoring the expectation that comes with the jersey, the history, and the franchise's standard of success. A team like the Lakers doesn't enter a season just to compete, it enters to win. And winning in today's NBA requires a complete, connected, and prepared roster for every scenario. This is the next necessary step to keep the tradition of championships alive and continue writing relevant chapters in the league's history. The Lakers' current moment indicates the team is in a decisive phase of transition. The core formed by LeBron James and Luka Doncic offers an extremely high competitive ceiling, but at the same time, demands that the rest of the roster be up to the challenge. Last season revealed vulnerable points, mainly in terms of depth, defense, and chemistry among role players. That is why moves in the market, such as the speculation involving names like Nick Claxton and Andrew Wiggins, are not only welcome but crucial to align the roster with the franchise's ambitions. Additionally, midterm planning must consider the physical preservation of the team's leaders and the ability to face opponents who are clearly on the rise. The league is younger, more athletic, and more tactically refined. The Lakers need to respond with structure and depth, not just isolated talent. The Lakers' front office next steps will have a direct impact on immediate success and the construction of a sustainable roster for the coming years. Reinforcing the team with functional, experienced players who fit tactically is essential to turn potential into results. The time for adjustments is over. Now is the moment for decisions. With the right choices and an already consolidated core, the Lakers have all the tools to return to real contention for another title and, who knows, raise another banner at Crypto.com Arena. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this possible Lakers move? Do you believe Claxton and Wiggins would be the right pieces to bring the team back to the top? Leave your opinion in the comments. Until next time, Lakers Nation.